What's up, y'all? We just signed Noah Igbenogany. And what does that mean for the Commanders? Nothing. Because at this point, we don't know who's going to be our starter at cornerback. We know on the other side, it may be Benjamin St-Juste, or it may be Benjamin St-Juste at the slot. Or they could decide to make Quan Martin our slot cornerback. But we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen or how they feel about this roster just yet, because they're still building it. And we were all trying to figure out who we were going to get in free agency at the cornerback position, seeing as though there are so many nice cornerbacks that are still available, where we have Xavier Howard. We have Stephon Gilmore. Seeing as though he just played with the Cowboys last season under Dan Quinn as defensive coordinator, some would think that we would probably go out and re-get him again, seeing as though he's playing under the same system. And he did great last season. He always does great. Honestly, he doesn't get anything lower than one interception a season. And, he's seemed to be consistent, even though he's up in age, and I think this year he'll be 34. I think we're trying not to move in that realm of getting just all veteran players, because it seems like that's where we've been headed. But we do still have talent that is still here and then young. So I understand, because if that's the case, if we go out and get Stephon Gilmore, we might as well have just kept Kendall Fuller, because Kendall Fuller was like 29, and I didn't see I think 29, 30, but I'm just saying we might as well just kept him. And if we were going to go out and get Stephon Gilmore, they both of them produce the same amount of stats. They both get interceptions and both get a whole bunch of pass deflections, but some could say understand defense is way better and offense is way better. So, I'm not sure how this season is going to go at the cornerback position, but it does leave a lot of room for a person like Emmanuel Forbes or Quan Martin to really stand out in the cornerback position. They might have Quan Martin be the slot cornerback, or they might have Emmanuel Forbes might have a breakout year this season, seeing as though he has a whole new system behind him. He's playing in a whole different defense. And, they might ask him to do things that he didn't do last season. And last season he was risking a lot. And last season they tried to make him a starter right off the back, whereas they noticed what was the Eagles game, where Emmanuel Forbes really broke down and really didn't get a chance to show his talents because he was making a lot of risky decisions. He was giving up a lot of yards, and he was looking like a little kid out there. And A.J. Brown, he was going up against A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown was just murdering him. It was just looking like a little kid playing against an NFL player. And that was one of his welcome to the NFL moments. And it takes some readjustment when you come to the NFL, because you have to understand that even though I'm the best at the college level, I still got to do great in the NFL level. It's way different. Everybody's great. And I think that's something that people forget out of college. Some people could be so cocky and so arrogant. And it's not to say that Emmanuel Forbes was cocky and arrogant, because when you're on the field, you kind of got to show that, because, you'll have players on the other side that are trying to bring the worst out of you. So they're doing everything they can. They're talking their game. They're talking about your family. They're doing everything they possibly can to bring you out of your game. And that was just one of those things where it's just like you had to learn. You had to be humbled. And Emmanuel Forbes got humbled that entire game, and then still had a bad game right after that. It was just, once he had that Eagles game, it just gradually went down for him. His whole season went all the way down. They benched him, And you can even see in that Eagles game that Emmanuel Forbes just was not himself anymore, and he just wasn't used to it. We've never seen him in this fashion. And of course it was his first year, but he got humbled. And it showed, like, as time went on, that he wasn't tackling good, and his weight was an issue. And it also showed that his coverage wasn't as good as it was, and it had some people even thinking that we needed to go get, I think, Christian Gonzalez from the Patriots. We should have. It had people like debating and trying to figure out if that was the wise decision, that we should have went with Emmanuel Forbes. And I was questioning it too. But now that he has a new defense to play under and new defensive coaches, some can say he might have a breakout year this season. Will this be the year for him? And we don't have, and right now our roster is not really so dependent on one person, like Kendall Fuller. Like, we know without a doubt last season Kendall Fuller had the starting position. This season, we don't know who might have the starting position on the outside. We know for a fact on one of those sides it might be Benjamin St-Juste. We feel highly about him, but it's a new defense. It's new head coaches. It's new defensive coaches. It's new everything. So for us to feel like, okay, this job is going strictly to Benjamin St-Juste would be false. We don't know. So I'm excited about what's going on because it allows everybody to be competitive, everybody to work. And it's a difference when, like, for example, last season we all thought that Sam Howell was going to start. And then we also had rumors that Jacoby Brissett was going to be a starter. And they were making it seem as though Sam Howell wasn't going to win that position. But you see, as time went on, the coaches, they all felt as though they wanted Sam Howell to be that guy. So they were making him that guy. Whereas you don't know who your starter is going to be. So you'll have competition there to create a better atmosphere for the players to really give their best and their all. But when you really don't know, you really don't know. Because now they got to see this talent for the first time. They get to watch this talent every day and night. So it really is going to come down to who shows the best effort. And last season, Emmanuel Forbes was not the first round draft pick we were looking for. So this season, he has another chance to really get that opportunity and get that chance back. And I hope he's learned a lot from Kendall Fuller over playing a whole season with him and behind him. So we're going to see what happens. Emmanuel Forbes didn't perform his best, but, he was able to get at least an interception. And he got that interception against the Broncos. So it's not like he's not a ball hawk, but last season he wasn't a man-to-man. He wasn't that guy you count on to really lock down a receiver. So we're trying to get somebody that can be aggressive, lock down a receiver, tackle, hit. And last season that just wasn't Emmanuel Forbes. But I can tell you now that is Quan Martin. For a fact, that is Quan Martin. He's a hitter. And he's definitely one of those ball-seeking people. Like, last season, I think he had 2 interceptions, but altogether he had 3 the whole entire season, even if you count preseason. And he had clutch moments. Like, he had the Baltimore Ravens game where he got the game-winning catch. Then he had a game-winning catch against, I'm not sure who it was against. I think it was the Seahawks or something like that. But he had one there. Then he had another. Like, when I tell you Quan Martin is what we thought Emmanuel Forbes was going to be, that's definitely who he is. And we got him in the second round. And, man, I don't even know what to say about that decision, but it was a great one. And we're going to really see what transpires and what they both have learned over this season. And with us getting Noah has a lot to prove. and he hasn't really got a chance. So we have him right there. We have Benjamin St. Juste. We have 4 cornerbacks that we have to see what they can do. Then we also, I believe, we still have Tyreek Castro Fields. We still got him there, and he was a good person to have there. He was a nice little backup. He has to prove himself, and it's all about what they see. It's all about what the defensive coordinator sees and what Dan Quinn sees. It's about what they see in the player. So we're gonna see, and hopefully they go out and get a veteran cornerback as well. Greg Newsome is a great person to get, but we would have to trade something for him. We would have to give up some draft capital or a player on our team, and maybe even both. But he played on a great team last season, and he also played with Denzel Ward. And last season, to me, honestly, Greg Newsome should have went to the Pro Bowl. Seeing as though he resembled the same exact stats as Denzel Ward, and he even had more pass deflections. And I just felt like he got cheated last season, seeing as though he had some standout things that were way different than what Denzel Ward did. He had a touchdown. He had 2 interceptions. He had, I think, 14 pass deflections. I think that was phenomenal. Like, that was great to me. But I still don't see how. Maybe they're going off of just, like, how well he locked down wide receivers. And maybe that might be the small little difference that I didn't see. But for the most part, he looked better on paper. On paper, he looked better. But that's maybe where I may be wrong at. But let me know about how y'all feel about this decision. Do y'all feel like Noah was a great pick? Do you think we should chill or really calm down at the cornerback position right now, where that may have been one of our weakest links last season? We were just giving up too much yards. The whole defense, honestly. But I think we got a lot to improve on, and I want to know how y'all feel about who we should go get in the draft. I mean, not draft. Who we should go get in the draft, as well. Draft, free agency. What veterans should we get? Is Stephon Gilmore too old? Is Greg Newsome too much of a risk right now, seeing as though we're still building? But, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this situation, and I'm out.